Welcome to another edition of MSI Showcase. I'm Diane Mulligan with Mulligan Speakers International, and today we're talking with Jeff Vankooten. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good, Diane. How are you?
Jeff, you're a speaker as well as a speaker's coach, and you wrote a blog recently which critiqued the speeches at the Academy Awards. I thought you had some very interesting points that meeting planners might also use when they're choosing a speaker. So tell me a little bit about some of the distractions and the enhancements. Let's start with the enhancements. Let's talk about some of the things the speakers did well at the Academy Awards.
Well, the speeches are timed, and you always have the orchestra that goes on and kind of gives them the clue that they have to go off. The ones that didn't use notes were the ones that were the most effective. I mean, they spoke from their heart. They spoke from whatever was emoting at the moment. What was really distracting were the speakers who would take out the notes out of their pocket, open it up, and put their head down so you couldn't even see their face, and they would think this and that person, and it just came across very rote. So I would say the ones that spoke naturally from their heart rather than from the notes were the ones that were the most effective.
You know, those connections are so important, connecting with that audience, but there were also some things that happened where the connections didn't really work.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're tethered to your notes or your cheat sheets, as I call them, you lose the connection with the audience because you don't look them in the eye. You're too busy looking at your notes.
You know, it's really interesting how you talk about bouncing back, thriving, and being resilient in your speeches. Certainly, it's really important for speakers to be able to do that too, because some things don't work out as planned.
Right. Well, one of them that I blogged about was Angelina Jolie. As my wife and I were watching the Academy Awards, we were just struck by the pose that she took. She had that right leg jutting out at kind of a 45-degree angle. She leaned herself back from her hip. She put her hand on her side. I was reminded of the "I'm a Little Teapot, Short and Stout" song. I don't think that's what she was going for. I think she was going for sexy, but she made the blogosphere and hit the internet waves with that stance. She even did it on the red carpet. And people, that's what they were thinking about. That's what they were talking about, was the awkward stance and the distraction of that stance. So stance matters, posture matters, and you need to take that into consideration as well. Sometimes it involves practicing your stance and having your gestures be appropriate to the message. And sometimes when you're emoting, which is a powerful way to communicate, your gestures can over-emote, and that's distracting as well.
If people want to see more about what you wrote, where should they go?
Sure. Yeah, it's actually the front page of my website itself, which is jeffvankooten.com. And there they can hit, and I've got back blogs from about a few years back, and I always deal with issues of change and kind of getting from point A to point B and the chaos that comes in between there. And one of the key elements of navigating that is communication. You have to have a potent communication, and so the latest blog was dealing with that and how to best communicate in times of great change.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff Vankooten, for talking with us today. And thank you, everyone, for watching MSI Showcase. We hope you'll watch again, because Jeff is a perfect example of our speakers who are really transformational. They're going to be able to teach your audience skills that they're going to use both at the conference and long after to make their lives better. Have a wonderful day.